What's going on, family? It's your man DeAndre Saxon, back for another video, coming to you from beautiful Dubai. On this channel, we teach you how to live like a GTA character. Once you level up your character, you level up your life. As you guys know, I studied with the famous Bob Proctor, teaching mindset, and it completely changed my life. So what we're talking about in here is how to build a winning self-image. In the last video, we just talked about the law of assumption, on how to actually assume you're successful before you have it, right? That's one of the universal laws. But there's some other factors that you're gonna have to use in order to reprogram that subconscious mind so you can effortlessly be swept up to success, whatever you define as success. And one of the most important things that science and psychology have come to conclusion is that your self-image, how you see yourself, has more to do with success than any knowledge, degrees, work ethic, or anything in life. And the best way I like to explain this is I struggled for 5 years in business. As I told you guys before, I used to pirate like courses like Amazon FBA, Facebook ads, and I would go out and work 12-hour days in Miami trying to get clients. And I would get to 5K a month, 4K a month. I had all the information. I would work long hours, but no matter what, it felt like I had a glass ceiling. And it wasn't until I met Bob Proctor that I was almost ready to quit, right? I'm like 23 at the time. I'm like, I'm ready to quit. I was driving for Uber, sleeping on air mattresses, sleeping in my car for 5 months. It was like I didn't understand because I was good at school. I graduated. I went to college for a year studying engineering, and I had all this knowledge. I was doing everything that society told me to do as success, but yet nothing was working for me. And even then, I would look at successful people that had all this information and courses, right, and degrees, and they weren't successful. And I was like, okay, there's something going on here. And so that's when I ran into Bob Proctor, and I remember him from The Secret, that everything started to change. And one of the lessons of the many lessons that he did that changed my life, I was in his inner circle studying with him directly, like a man that studied the mind for 60 years, that I studied directly under him, one of his youngest consultants at the time, right before he passed away. And one of the biggest lessons of the many lessons was the self-image. It was not until I understood self-image that life started to change for me. So here's the best way I like to explain it. We have two self-images, an outer image and an inner image. So let's talk about the outer image. So if you would have looked at me back when I was 21 years old, you would have thought I was successful, right? I dressed nice, I looked nice, charisma, everything was flowing. But if you looked at my bank account, like, that was not charismatic, you know? My outside world didn't reflect my inside world. And if you're anything like me, I knew I was going to be a millionaire. I knew I was going to be successful. I did the work, right? I just knew it deep down inside that something was going to take me to the next level, but my outside world never reflected it. My bank account never reflected it. And I could never figure out why. I thought I needed more information. I thought I needed more action, right? Everybody says take massive action or you need more information. I did all of that. I took probably this life, I've probably taken like 90 courses at this time. Like, no. Because I didn't understand the inner self-image. How you see yourself has more to do with your success than anything in life. It's your identity. It controls everything that you do. It controls how you see yourself. You'll never act outside of your identity. You'll never act outside of your self-image. Here's the best way for me to explain this. Okay, so let's talk about something, a recent example is a manifestation. All right, I used to hate that word, right? Because I was like, okay, no, I teach people how to reprogram their subconscious mind and XYZ. So I used to hate that word manifestation because I thought it was feminine, right? Anytime you talk about manifestation on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, it's like some like white girl talking about it with like sage and stuff. Like, I was like, nah, bro, I stay away from that. Like, I teach people how to quantumly grow their business to the next level. Like, I was very like masculine energy about it because I just didn't like that content. But then I had a change of heart. I decided to change my identity and say, you know what? Why don't I create content like that, but I create it with my own energy, my own flair, a more masculine, more urban vibe, more just like more for the dudes, you know what I'm saying? Like, because they wanted to make content like that. Because I had a shift in my identity, what happened is I shifted my actions. Because I could have never acted and created content like that if I didn't first shift my identity. Do you see the flow here? I shifted my identity, how I saw myself, that, hey, I can create content like this. And because I thought first, I then changed my actions. As my actions started to change, my following started to change. Does that make sense? You will never act outside of outside of how you see yourself. The moment you change your identity and see yourself as a better version of yourself, that's when things are going to start to shift here. So what we're going to want to do is start to move into congruency versus incongruency. I want to talk about this, okay? So if you're watching the channel, you know that the first foundation of success is you have to write down exactly what you want to do with your life. What does your life look like? Build the movie of how you want to live your life. Life is like GTA. It's a movie. You can create it the way you want. Just like you're playing that video game, life is the same way. You can use your consciousness, your conscious mind, your imagination to build whatever life that you want. Do you realize that? When Bob Proctor said this to me, I didn't believe it. I was 23. I was dead broke, and I was wondering what I was gonna do with my life. But I was so vulnerable and so like fed up with being broke that I was like, whatever you say, Bob, like just tell me, like whatever. And I didn't really believe it, but I believed in his belief in it. Does that make sense? He believed it so much. He was successful, so I believed it. And that was all I needed to know, that to less than a couple months later, I was building a 7-figure business by 24 years old. Like it just became real. And that showed me that the world really does bend to your consciousness, that the world is plastic and it will bend to the consciousness of man, that you are the creator in your life. Whether you like the results or don't like the results in your life right now, you have consciously or unconsciously created that, which is great. This is great. You know why? Because you can change it. The moment you take responsibility and stop blaming somebody else for it. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to build this dream version of your life. We talk about it in other videos. I think it was called first step to change, leveling up your life. So maybe I'll put the video in the description below. If not, go find it on my channel. But we talk about that first fantasy. So what we have built in this image, in this new fantasy, is your new self-image, the new version of yourself. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna take that and we have to merge today's self-image, the way you act, walk, and talk today. You have to start acting like that person now. It's almost like using the law of assumption. You can't start attracting those things until you act like that person. It's the law of attraction. You only attract the things that are on your frequency, the way your thinking patterns. So the results that you have right now, whether you like them or not, whether you're at a high income or low income, whatever, you've attracted based on your thought patterns. It's something called the paradigm, the way in which you see the world. You emit a frequency. It's your attitude, your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, all of it together. You're emitting this energy. And that's how you've attracted everything in your life. So what we're gonna do is we build this new self-image, this new ideal life, and you have to start acting like that person, bro. Trust me, that you'll have so much more success acting, walking, and talking like the new version than just mere action alone. Because if you do this, you'll magnetize new situations, circumstances to your life that mere action cannot do. Mere action is the slowest form of vibration. Yes, can you go work 12-hour days, 10-hour days? Yeah, guys, there was time I'd make 30 grand in 2 hours. It would take me, I think it took me 2 years to make 30 grand in my first business. Like, that's crazy. Then just using these laws, I would make that like 10 grand before breakfast. I'm like, what do I do with my life? And you start making that every single day, 250 a month. You're just like, what is going on? And that's when I started to realize that this stuff was real. When I started to assume that I was this version of myself and start to act, walk, and talk like him, that's when everything started to happen. So you're gonna have to build a self-image, that fantasy of what you want, and you're gonna have to act like that person now. Do that long enough, persist in that vision long enough, and your life will start to change. Guys, there's so much content that I have to give you, and I try to do my best to communicate that here on YouTube in just a few minutes. But the best way for you to get like knowledge and step-by-steps, like I don't read books. I just study what I learned from Bob Proctor, and all that I give inside the community. I give it for free. The old core, it's actually right here, actually. The program I used to sell with Bob Proctor is called Thinking into Results. I used to sell it for 10 grand. I have 300 clients. I give it away for free inside the school group. Now, obviously, there's a fee for other stuff in there, but this program that actually made me 7 figures, I give it to you guys in there. This was my step-by-step plan that I learned, and I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just want to show you what worked for me. I can't lie. I can only be authentic and show you what worked for me. So it was using these steps day by day, studying this stuff, working on myself, that it actually started to work. Now, now that I'm 28 years old, there's some other stuff that we talk about, daily disciplines, daily habits, and other parts that we talk about to actually level up. Because, man, being a man, there's so much we have to do, but guess what? You have the ability to create your life, and then you don't have to, deal with the hand that was dealt to you. You can build your life, bro. There's some steps you're gonna do. It's gonna be a difficult path. I'm not gonna lie to you. It will be difficult because you have to be conscious of changing your own thoughts. It's like you have a program, and the program has to change the program. That's literally consciousness, right? So it's gonna be hard, but you can do it. Trust me. You're gonna face your battles. You're gonna go through it. You're gonna lock in. You're gonna go through a personal development plan, and then you go to the next level. Then you come join me here in Dubai, and we'll go to the next level. And then you'll say, DeAndre, thank you so much for showing me that I am the creator of my life. I taught you how to do it, and then you can live the life that you want, and I'll be happy, you'll be happy, and we'll go to the next level together. So it's your man, DeAndre Saxon, back for another video. Subscribe to me below, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.